Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I have a clip for you from Judge Michael Nelson in Texas. He has a couple in his court who, because of their religious doctrine, the mom expects the father to pay for his children, his daughters, until they get married. The only thing is that does not jive with Texas state law. And unfortunately, she can't go after that. But I'll let you guys watch.
All right, this time the court's calling to order and calling calls number, Bell County calls number 231,382. This is in the 169th Judicial District Court of Bell County, Texas, as in the interest of Maybrook minor child, or Maybrook minor child. Not considered the party is Wajday M. Marlborough, and custodial party is Nawasha E. Marlborough. And this matter before the court on a suit for modification of child support and motion to confirm arrears. The court will take judicial notice of the court file and note for the record that this matter was filed last year and both parties were served a citation back in November of 2023. So both parties have been properly served and noticed in conformity with the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. So at this time, I ask the state for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, what the state understands agreements and contests to be at this time, and whether or not the state is requesting this to be a temporary or a final order. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's the state's understanding that Mr. Maybrook is in the same, has the same position as the state of Texas, which would be a non-suit of the modification. Testimony and evidence will show that the parties only have one minor child in this case remaining. That child will actually turn 18 years old this coming June after having graduated from high school. And as far as the circumstances justifying a modification, it's the state's understanding that there have not been any. Ms. Maybrook is not in agreement with the state or Mr. Maybrook and is wanting this court to consider income that Mr. Maybrook has from properties owned. However, our state's evidence will show that these properties were owned by Mr. Maybrook prior to the parties' divorce and actually mentioned in the divorce decree. So as far as modification grounds, I don't know that we have any today.
All right, well, Ms. Bungat, one thing, is the state non-suiting this or not?
Well, Your Honor, given how long the parties were here, I wanted to give Ms. Maybrook an opportunity to see if the court would consider a modification rather than the state non-suiting outright.
All right, well, yeah, if you non-suit, yeah, it's gone. So, all right, then, well, let's see what her arguments are for this, the court to take this up. All right, then, ma'am, where are you? I don't see you. You need to come forward. You need to turn on your video, and I'll ask both you and Mr. Marlborough to raise your right hands and let's get some testimony. Is she in here? Yes, I see her down at the bottom. Ma'am, you're muted and you need to unmute yourself and turn on your video. All right, raise your right hands, please. Do both of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and that but the truth, so help you?
I do, sir.
Yes, I do.
All right, you're both officially under oath, and I'm gonna go ahead and let the state, you put your hands down. I'm gonna let the state call you as witness, ma'am. You need to find a spot and stay at that spot, please. Moving around messes with the signal. So at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call you both as witnesses. Obviously, I need to hear from the custodial party why she feels that modification is necessary at this point going forward based on these circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state first calls Mr. Maybrook. Sir, what is your full name?
My name is Wagdi Mabruk.
And sir, is it correct that you and Miss Maybrook have two children, only one of whom is still a minor?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
What are their names, please?
Amina is the older one, and Amira is the younger one, the one that's still on the order.
And sir, for the younger one, when does she graduate from high school?
Well, she's scheduled to graduate this year, which would be, I guess, in June of 2024.
And then her birthday is when, sir?
June 29th of this year be 18, but she was born in 2006.
And sir, were you able to hear my opening statement to the court before your case?
Before the last case, the prior case, ma'am?
Just now, sir, this summary of what I believe to be the facts.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I did hear that, yes, ma'am. Maybe I didn't understand 100% of it, but yeah, but sounds about right.
And sir, as far as your position on this case, is it correct that you were wanting the support for your younger child to remain the same, given how much time is left for her on the case?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, this was ruled, wow, a bunch of years ago. I don't know, 17, 18, 16 years ago. And I thought everything was taken care of. I thought it was unfair then, but I lived with it all these years. So I'm kind of surprised that there's any request for any changes now, especially the properties were addressed. She's
Okay,
received.
sir, I'm sorry, you're going way past the question, okay? Well, the state will flesh this out, but right now, just answer the question and stop. Thank you.
Yes, sir, will do.
And so, Mr. Mabruk, at this time, are you aware of any changes that have occurred since the decree of divorce set the support and addressed the properties you just mentioned?
Maybe I didn't understand the question fully, man. Am I aware of any changes for what?
Changes in circumstances for you, Ms. Mabruk, or your children that have changed anything since the divorce decree that addressed the properties you mentioned?
No, ma'am. I just know that no changes that I'm aware of.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, then, sir, we're still operating under the original divorce decree?
Yes, sir. As far as I know, unless there's something else out there that I'm aware of. But yes, sir.
All right, and what did you do for a living at the time of your divorce, sir?
Well, at that point, I just retired, and I've taken a job. I believe at that point I was working overseas or thereabouts, but I had several jobs since I've retired.
Okay,
And at
real
the
quick,
same,
stop. I just want to know about that. And
yeah,
I'm sorry, and what was the amount of child support ordered originally?
there was stipulations there, sir. There was a house involved that she was residing in.
Stop. Again, sir, I'm trying to get the math. Ms. Mongai, what's the current child support obligation, please?
It is $1,350 per month.
Is that with the older child having emancipated, or was that the original amount for both kids?
So that's with the older child having emancipated. Initially, it was $1,687.50.
All right, thank you. All right, then, and did this? I got citation in November. Did the state do calc what the current child support would be with the one child remaining?
Sorry, Your Honor, what was that question?
You do a calculation of what the current child support would be technically going forward since with the one child remaining at this time.
Well, Your Honor, it's our understanding that the amount would actually go down, and I apologize, I misspoke. The parties had a modification in 2013, so after the divorce decree, which set these current amounts.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you. So at this, okay, thank you. That got my information. Thank you very much, sir. And Ms. Bongad, you can call your next witness, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
The state calls Ms. Mabruk. Ma'am, what is your full name?
My name is Nashwa Mabruk.
And is it correct, ma'am, that you're the mother of the two girls mentioned in this case by Mr. Mabruk?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to hear my opening statement to the court of the disagreements between the three of us?
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, was I correct in telling this court that your last order that set Mr. Mabruk's support was the 2013 modification after your divorce decree?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, ma'am, since that modification in 2013, what has changed for your family?
First of all, I'm right now unemployed. When I talked to the mediator between us, I asked if
Okay,
he can.
ma'am, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you're not a lawyer, but here's one of the rules under Texas law. You cannot tell the court or give any information for anything that was done in mediation or in negotiations dealing with this case. It's considered, the law is that they want, the courts want y'all to negotiate freely, but the court is not allowed to hear about anything that took place in negotiations, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, but when he said he has the property before the marriage, was wrong. No, this is
Okay.
after our marriage.
Okay, well, it's the state has not gotten there yet, ma'am. So I'll let the state continue with that information and get that testimony from you. For right now, just listen to the one question that's asked and then answer that question and stop. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, state may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ma'am, when we did the modification in 2013, Mr. Mabrouk was the person maintaining your daughter's health and dental coverage, correct?
Yes.
And he's still doing that today?
Yes, ma'am.
And then as far as his income, were you aware of him changing jobs or having a change in income?
Of course, there is no contact. I can't know what his work, what his income. I can't, but I know he can support the kids, because even there are 18, he knows by our belief he's still responsible. It's like they turn 18 and
Okay,
he's not
okay, ma'am.
$1 for any.
Ma'am,
for
stop,
anything.
stop, please. Order in the court.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, here's the deal, ma'am. Right now, I'm looking at ordering child support. I can only order child support for another technically 3 months. When if the child is graduated from high school and is over the age of 18, child support stops in the state of Texas. I can order child support modification up until then. If the court finds there's been a change of circumstance and it warrants the modification, I can order that modification all the way back to start the first day of December. And that's the first day of the month after both of y'all were served with paperwork. But ma'am, any child support order I do will only go through the 1st of June of this year. That's it. I can't go any further than that because that's all the law requires. So I'm gonna let the state continue. So at best, ma'am, I can modify the child support going forward from today, or I can modify it going backwards. But ma'am, from the 1st of December, but that means it can go down or it can go up. But that's all based on the circumstances, ma'am. So I'll let the state continue with questions. You may proceed, Ms. Bongat.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ma'am, as far as the properties that I mentioned in my opening statement, was I correct in letting the court know that that was something you were wanting considered now?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as you know, ma'am, how long has Mr. Mabrouk owned those properties?
Since we've been married.
And when the modification occurred in 2013, do you know if that property or any income was taken into account then?
Say it again. What that mean?
Yes, ma'am. When you did a negotiation or a hearing in 2013 to change support, do you know if the properties or any income from them was considered?
I consider that it will give us more child support to able to live everything getting expensive, and we didn't even ask him for $1 all our life.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, if you don't know the answer to the question, just let us know you don't know. But the question was, when the last child support order was done and the income that was looked at as far as ordering the father to pay you child support, do you know whether or not that the income from the houses or rental property was considered? Do you know?
From the property is supposed to we own house, and the house together. I supposed to have that house to refinance it, and they make like equity from this property for this house. But he was so difficult. He didn't even let me refinance, and he get all this money in his interest. He took it back, and I have to live with my kids and start all over again. But like he make me whatever, like all the money, I lost it because he was so hard to give me paper to able to refinance the house under my name, and I have to live with my kids so young and to start all over again and lose everything.
Okay, ma'am, but that again doesn't answer my question, but I'm gonna take it for other circumstances. You don't know one way or the other. My understanding is that you said that property was supposed to be yours by the court order, but you lost it and he took it back, right?
Yes, I took it back and I lost everything because he wasn't even cooperating to give me the paper and to do the refinance, and it was very hard. I never talked to him.
Ma'am, real fast. Did you have a lawyer?
At that time, I have two lawyers, even lawyer after lawyer.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, State may ask the next question, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mabrouk, Mr. Mabrouk was ordered to make all of his child support payments through the state's disbursement unit, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, state offers into evidence State's Exhibit 1, the financial activity report in this case.
All right, Mr. and Ms. Mabrouk, this is State's Exhibit number 1. This shows what monies have been paid in child support in this case through the state disbursement unit as per the prior order of the court. Is there any legal reason the court should not be able to look at this information and confirm this information at this time, Mr. Mabrouk? Any objection to the court having this data, sir? You muted, sir.
Muted. Okay, I'm sorry. What was the question, sir?
The question is, sir, any objection to the court having the financial activity report that shows what monies you have paid for child support in this case?
No objection whatsoever, sir.
All right, Ms. Mabrouk, is there a legal reason the court should not be able to review this information?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Is there a legal reason the court should not be able to review the information to show what Mr. Mabrouk has paid you in child support over the lifetime of this case?
No.
Okay. All right, stage 1's admitted to show what child support has been paid. You may proceed, Ms. Bangad. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on that information, Ms. Mabrouk, would you agree that there have been several times that Mr. Mabrouk has been paid ahead, as in there's an excess amount of money received on the case?
No, he didn't pay anything ahead.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am, you wanted the court to consider?
This is what I was saying is just he knows better that he, even with the court, with the law, he's still responsible in front of God. He knows that because they are girls, and he knows he obligated to be responsible for them until they get married. Because even girls, so he knows that. And I want to say that I know he's not going to pay anything, but I want to say that to be recorded with you in front of God, and he will be accountable for that later. It's just, this is what he believe, I believe, but it's just this is what I want to say. Like he's not even helping them with anything. Like my older one, after she worked hard in high school and she was getting good grade, and she begged him to help her to go to the college, he refused. He didn't help her at all. And I help with everything. It's just we know.
Ma'am, here's still, ma'am, stop, please. Ma'am, I get it. You're coming at this from a different angle than I'm allowed to come at this case with. My understanding is under your either under your cultural beliefs or your religious belief, the father is responsible for supporting daughters so long as until they're married. But unfortunately, under Texas law, child support is only due and payable until they turn 18 and then graduate from high school. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that's what the law is for Texas. I know some states allow you order child support through college, but Texas is not one of them. So again, I cannot order child support past this coming June based on if your youngest daughter graduates from high school in May, then the child support will have to end in June. The only thing I can modify the child support to, the state is saying right now on their calculations it would go down for the next couple of months. But again, I have not heard testimony of what the current properties the father owns, whether or not he's getting rental income from them, and what his income information is to verify that one way or the other. You know, I mean, it sounds like to me you're trying to get child support for a lot longer. And by law, ma'am, I can only give you child support for technically 3 more months of payments. 2 more months of payments, May and June 1. And then after June 1, by Texas law, child support stops. There's no way around that, ma'am.
You said May and June 1? Like one? What that mean? Like 1 more month?
Yeah, the first day of May and the first day of June, child support will be still due and owed in your case. But after that, it will cease.
Okay, I didn't mean here to get more child support. I'm just I wanna talk to give him a message, because we can talk and a lot of conflicts. So just I give him the message, that's it. But he wanna pay or he wanna support them, he can do it. He doesn't want to, he can do it still. That's fine. I just this is my main thing, to give the message in front of you, Judge, in front of God, in front of everybody.
All right, ma'am. Again, I understand where you're coming from on this one, but again, right now, based on what I have here, ma'am, I'm looking at keeping the child support where it is and ordering it for the next 2 months. And by the very last order you gave, the court gave prior, it will end with that last child support on June the 1st as being court ordered child support. Anything he does above and beyond that is left up to him, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Bongard. Again, I'm looking at, based on this information, just leaving the child support as is. And obviously, if the child graduates at the end of May and turns 18 in June, then the child support ceases in June, as of June the 1st. Anything else, Ms. Bongard?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. and Ms. Brooke, thank you very much, ma'am. And sir, good luck to both of you and your girls.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
We're off the record. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Y'all are both free to go. Thank you.
Well, first I have to say that this man's voice is very unique. It sounds like I'm Batman. Anyway, I can't say that very well, but he did sound like that. It doesn't sound like he wants to help his daughters go through college. It doesn't sound like he wants to do anything like that. He doesn't want to financially support them any longer. And maybe he feels like he's supporting their mom and not them, but in supporting their mom, he's supporting them. So, I don't know. She may get better results by going to his and her, if they're the same person, their religious leader or leaders. Go to his religious leader especially. Because I do believe that in that culture or that religion that he is supposed to take care of his daughters until they get married. So, I don't know. It's different. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.